Hello, my name is Nicholas Bowers. Today
I'm Daniel Nicholson, and we're here with the world famous Daniel Kiefer.
and this is Real Talk.
Hello.
We call each other the Double D's when we go out. It's our nicknames. Well, actually, I've known Kiefer for I don't know, like more than 15 years. He's my best friend.
At least a coon's age.
A coon's age, yes. A raccoon.
Yeah.
I'm the youngest in this room.
You're the.
I'm a Gen Z.
He's our young Jamie.
Is it too early for a fun fact?
No,
What?
So, fun fact. Do you know why they say a coon's age?
why is that?
It's not a racist term. So, in the 1800s is when it derived. People actually thought raccoons lived forever.
Really?
They thought they were immortal. And that's where that term, I haven't seen you in a coon's age. Because raccoons never died. That's how people thought back then.
Well, in our society, I just thought everything was racist. So
Well, yeah. Other than that.
But this is Kiefer. He is from what is it, Mustang?
Yeah.
Mustang, Oklahoma, and he's just hanging out with us here in Woodward, Oklahoma. And we've known each other forever. We've been through a lot of stuff. He's my, what do you call it? My, wingman. Is that what we call it?
Homo paternal twin?
Your homo.
Oh, twin.
It's okay to have like gay thoughts about me.
Do you know what a homo paternal twin is?
That
Was it too early for the second fun fact of the day?
no.
Okay.
Let's hear your fun
So, a
fact.
homo paternal twin, this is actually a fun fact. So, a woman can get pregnant twice by two different men and have twins with two separate fathers. And they call it a homo paternal twin.
But Kiefer,
Yes.
you got any wild and crazy stories from back when we used to prowl around?
Oh, man.
I'm not talking about last night either.
Just thinking about what we can and cannot say out to the world.
Well, why don't you tell them the first time that we met?
First time we met. You don't remember the first time we met.
Well, I kind of have flashbacks a little bit.
You had flashbacks.
Yeah.
Well, how do you remember us meeting?
Oh my goodness. Well,
How did you two meet? That's what I want to know. That's what the world wants to know.
Oh.
Well, we met in Mr. Kurtz's class, which is multimedia, and we started working. Like we went to a
Explain
competition
to the kids
together.
at home what that is. Not me.
Multimedia.
Yeah.
Well, multimedia is where you learn how to do like video editing and filmmaking and like just
Short story that
Short
we
stories
just
and stuff.
I went to the class and then I don't know how the fuck I don't know why I'm saying I vote. I don't know how it happened, but one time I just decided to talk with this dude and then blah 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 and then I'm in here. So that's short story.
It's all down.
started following me around and
Uh-oh.
anyway.
We are rolling,
this
right?
podcast.
Yeah. Okay, what is our first topic? This guy right here is
This guy have a good philosophical ideas and then philosophical answers.
If you
and
need
I
a
like
history
to hear
teacher.
about I like to talk about him with the history and then other crazy wild stuff.
Yeah, he's like he should have been like a professor or history teacher.
Yeah.
Kind of just enjoying hearing about myself now.
Smoke a joint and just look at him.
Back then in 1969, there was a two guy.
Smoke a joint. Turn to page 490.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Like, I know that what got you into history?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Like, has it
I think
always been
people
there?
are just into what they're into, you know?
Like when you're in school, like high school, were you into it or did it come later?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I think it probably came from movies. Stemmed from
Movies.
movies. Watching period pieces like, Braveheart and stories like that.
Even though
Tombstone.
Braveheart's kind of inaccurate or
Very historically inaccurate,
Well,
but it's also one of the greatest movies ever made.
Well, how's it
I will
inaccurate?
die on that hill.
How's it inaccurate?
Do you want like a list of things?
Well, it's like it's a really good movie, but it's like I've heard a lot of people say that it's not right.
No, it's a good movie. Just little things like the Scots weren't wearing kilts at that point. They didn't have bagpipes at that point. The blue on the face was the Pix. That was way earlier than that. So pretty much what Mel Gibson did was took everything awesome about Scotland and threw it in one movie, and it worked for me. But if you're a history buff, if you can get past that, it's a great movie.
You remember
Everybody's favorite Braveheart at this point.
Average human don't give a F what happened 200 years ago. Just be realistical. Like, do you think we're going, like, I don't know.
History doesn't matter.
What were you asking?
Like, I'm just saying, like, in the movies, sometimes you see some inaccuracies. And then, I mean, I can understand because movies, entertainment, that's what it's made from. And then sometimes a lack of history can be beneficial from some movies.
Yeah.
So, and then average, I would say average people don't know what happened 200 years ago. So they're just, like, remember how can you said something about that the children these days don't know where was like United States located, don't know where's the continent. Maybe that's pretty
The dumbing down of our society.
They look at a map and they're like, where is this?
Like, somebody cannot point out where's the United States even located.
Well, there's so many factors there. I think one is, our education system is lacking in this country.
Yeah, true.
Everybody around the world could agree with that.
Even
People like to play the blame game. They keep blaming. It's like, let's find a solution. Shit.
In a day and age, there's so many different factors to it. Could you say it's because both parents have to work and don't have time to raise their kids like they used to? Or on the other side of the coin, you could say that they were so far away. Nobody read. All they had was books. Now we have a little magical box in our pocket that you can Google something
you know what?
at a whim.
I don't blame the education in United States because where I'm from, how you say about two parents working on the works. I mean, we had same time in can I see Ukrainian?
Yeah.
Okay, we had same time in Ukraine, and then somehow like so far, like it's not like this in here. I mean, I want to blame educational system because sometimes it can be like in the 11th grade you learn how to fucking paint some out. I'm talking about like stupid shit but actually don't need it.
Well,
Like the system, the United States education is made from like a passing test and basically that's it.
yeah, it's like no one's. You know what the cool thing is?
Yeah.
Like you're saying that everybody's learning the same thing, but people learn differently, right?
Absolutely.
They
Well,
have
a big problem is the lack of critical thinking. We're teaching kids what to think and not how to think.
Right.
Just smart enough to pull a lever and push buttons all day long.
I have
child
I have a
left
story
behind.
from my life.
Yeah. Thanks, Bush.
I have a story from my life. So there was a two class, United States history and world history. And then guess what kind of class I like more?
World history.
No.
What was the first one?
Yeah, so I have.
You guys learn United States history in Ukraine?
No, in the United States.
Oh, I see.
Anyway, so in here I have maybe like 10th grade. I have a two class. It's world history and United States history, and then somehow I like more United States history class because the teacher was been more. This was more interested to listen, and then he actually was paying attention
He was a
about.
coach, wasn't he?
He's a coach. Yeah, that's true.
All history teachers are coaches.
Dude,
And if they aren't, I don't trust them.
and then like when I go to after the world United States history, I went to the world history class, and then the teacher was been boring, and then I did not like it. I did not feel the connection between me and teacher to push myself to the limit and learn something. And then he just like he pull up the text on the screen and it's just telling what blah blah blah. He did not pull up the map. He did not pull up the pictures of the event. He just saying everything by what is written in books, and then in the end he just do quiz, and then that's it. I did not like it. I did not hear his own personal opinion about this.
What kind did you say it was U.S. history?
No, it's a world history.
Oh, world history.
Yeah, United States history. The teacher has been the best. I really like him. I think so. His name is Mr. Greek.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought U.S. history was one of the most boring classes.
Actually, I like
I
it.
took it 3 times. I'm not.
I got a award from United States history.
Did you guys hear about the new AI that teaches your kids? They have I was watching Dr. Phil. They had this episode about like,
Dr. Phil.
yeah, they were doing this class for young kids, like in kindergarten through like fifth grade. And what they do is they come in and the AI learns where how your kids learn. But let's say that you're learning math and the kid likes football, so it'll put football into each lesson. And
I can think of 5 movies off the top of my head where that's a bad idea.
well, the thing is like, let's say you're learning about Abraham Lincoln, right? It will be Abraham Lincoln talking to the kid. He's like, "Well, I was this," and
Yeah, that's fascinating. The thing that scares me about the whole AI being the teacher is who's programming what.
Yeah.
well, the thing is it takes where your kid is struggling, and they take a test. It's like, okay, I don't know. My favorite country is Africa. My favorite hobby is doing this, and it shows them where they're struggling at, and it makes it more fun, and it breaks it down. And they only have like 4 hours of class, and the rest of the day is spent on stuff like learning to play an instrument, working together with other people.
So it's more beneficial from child because he's developing an organism, and then they develop him more well.
I mean, it's really cool.
Because just think about it. You take child from it. We take a child who don't want to sit down 6 hours in a day and be and find the book to learn on this. He have to acting. He have to like explore the world. Like it's not just it's. So I heard I was having a conversation with someone, and we got to the point of education, and she's saying the reason why we have bad education because they're doing everything on computers, on the laptops, and then we have to go back on the books. We have to go back from electronic to the books, and then that's the dumbest decision that you can make. It we have to go on forward with the technology. We cannot just go back. It's not work this way. Like I don't know, it's my opinion.
Are you saying we don't need like the books in the class?
No, I say we need a. I'm not saying. I'm saying that we need to go forward with the technology. Like we have to advance with the technology, not stay behind everything.
What do you think, Kiefer?
Here's a charged subject. I think a lot of times it's the teachers.
Yeah, true.
Good teachers are, and this is gonna upset some people, and I'm all for paying teachers. They're teaching our young.
Yeah.
But so many kids are falling through the cracks. These teachers keep getting raises, especially here in Oklahoma. And what are they doing? Teaching. I hate to say it, but a lot of the time they're teaching propaganda in school. They're teach. So the current education system is really. You got 30 kids to a class. Not every one of those 30 kids is going to learn the same way. Yes, you do have a majority that's going to hear what the teacher's doing and they're going to make A's and go about their business. But you got at least 10 kids in that class that are staring out the window. They don't want to be there. Like you said, they're up running around. They don't want to sit down for 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
Maybe go outside under a tree and do like a fun experiment or something.
Yeah.
To teach these kids what you're talking about, because a lot of them don't know what the fuck you're talking
Well,
about.
that's what I'm talking about. The AI program is that there's a coach in there. There's a person like a counselor.
You guys mind if I smoke in here?
Yeah, go ahead. This will be the first.
This is script.
Oh, am I the first?
Yeah.
Oh, like Dave Chappelle, huh?
There we go. But the AI, like that's what it does is they spend 4 hours like with the AI, and they also have like one teacher in the room that's like a counselor or like a coach or whatever, and they talk to the kids and they're like, "Are you learning? Is everything okay?" And they keep track of what they're doing, and they do tests, and they say that their education's actually going they're learning more.
Yeah. Well, if we didn't have, let's put it this way, if we didn't have a problem with education in this country, No Child Left Behind wouldn't be a thing.
What is that?
Do you know?
During George Bush Jr.'s, George W., during his term, I don't know if it was him or his administration, but they started this thing called No Child Left Behind. And what it is, yes, it sounds good, and I get what they were trying to do. They were just trying to get everybody moved along, graduated, go out to the workforce. We need people in the workforce. I get it. The problem there, though, is I know people that have a high school diploma that can't tell the difference between a quarter and a dime, can't read. They have to have people text for them. You know, don't know where California is or don't know anything. They don't know anything about the world.
It's insane.
And they have a high school diploma. When, so and so over here didn't get a high school diploma, but he's being pushed down because he doesn't have a piece of paper showing that he went through the same thing these dumb people did. There's a huge problem with that, I think, in this country.
Well, they're making obedient workers.
Yeah.
They're
But are
teaching
they
them.
obedient if they can't read change or read a book or...
Well, this is going to probably be a unpopular opinion. It might be I don't know, but I think they should bring books back to school. Like, carrying books and stuff and be able to see, like,
Oh, they
read
get
from
rid of that? Oh, like...
instead of just having
laptops?
tablets and stuff, they should have books.
Have you guys heard of digital dementia?
What is that?
I don't know. Something I saw in the news years, like 20 years ago, they were talking about this.
Oh, I think so. I know what you mean. Like when you read something in a screen, but then you forgot.
So quickly. Yeah. So back in the day, we had to research. We had to pull out an encyclopedia. I don't know about y'all, but every time I'd ask my dad something growing up, he'd be like, son, there's an encyclopedia right over there. Go look it up. And you'd have to go learn something. Now, if you have a question in your head, it's like, oh, I wonder. You pull it out of your pocket, you Google it, go, huh. You put it back in your pocket, and you forget about it.
You don't have to learn it.
Yeah.
It's already there.
I mean, it's like I understand.
forget
I
shit all
understand
the
this.
time.
I understand this. Well, like even if I launch something on screen, I can forget, but I can remember too. It's not a big deal with me.
It's not as extreme
Yeah.
as that, but I think there is. Now, don't get me wrong. I
mean,
love that we
it's-
live in a day and age to where we have that.
Yeah.
In the day of information, ignorance is a choice. So, and that's another thing. The status quo is once you get out of high school, you go out to college. If you don't go to college, you're going to be a loser. That's the status quo now.
Right.
Well, you can get every information that you would get in a university online
Right.
for
Yeah.
free.
Yeah,
You can-
true.
It's
But without
free.
that piece of paper, you're
Yeah.
going to be a loser because the
yeah.
status quo is,
It's free.
either have babies or go to college. There is no in between.
I mean, people see you by your outfit, not by you. Who you
And
are.
don't even get me started on the trade jobs. You know what I mean? We need plumbers, we need architects, we need, electricians.
We need the handyman.
Can I compare United States to China? like, can I?
You can do whatever you want. This is
Okay,
America.
So there was I saw a video
aren't you gay?
somewhere, like I don't know, on YouTube, and they're comparing the United States children's and then China, United States kids, and then
Yeah, but they go
China
to school
kids.
for like
Wait a minute.
20 hours a day.
But hold on, listen to me. They're comparing them, and then they ask a question like who you want to be, and then China kids answer like, I want to be like in Air Force, I want to be a plumber, I want to be an engineer, I want to be a teacher, and then in here you can hear some like I want to be a rapper, like I want to be
skateboarder,
like
yeah.
the cool guy. So I feel
That's the American.
Studies.
yeah,
God. That's the
that's
American dream.
That's the reason why there was a big. That's
Interpretive dance.
That's the reason why United States, like,
I want to be an alcoholic just like my dad.
well,
That's actually a joke.
I was going to say something.
My dad is not an alcoholic.
That we know.
I am. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm
No, I feel like if I say this, it will be it will be bad.
that's the thing is like people. Why are we so afraid to say what we believe or
Because somebody will say like, why you in here live to go to other country.
well, that's their opinion. You have an opinion, right?
Yeah, I don't-
That's their opinion. Who cares what they say?
Yesterday, somebody reply on my Facebook post and said like you have to leave this state right now and go to the blue. You have to leave this state because it's a red state.
You're listening to some guy who's like in his basement.
I know.
Like,
Well, here's the thing.
Ugh.
That's the beauty about America or the United States.
Yeah.
Is open conversation.
Right.
We have the liberty
America.
to have discussions. And I think that's why we are where we are now is because we're not having the discussion.
Right.
And I'm not pointing at either side, but when people live in echo chambers and they're only hearing one story and they refuse to have an actual conversation with somebody, you're not, you know, if
guilty
somebody
of that.
only hears, if somebody only sees the color blue, they're going to say everything's blue.
You got to look at it on every side, right?
Yeah. And I think if we would just get together, there's room at the table for everybody.
Right.
And I think what needs to happen is we need to send our brightest and have a conversation on both sides. And whoever the victor is, maybe that's a better idea. You know what I mean?
I believe it. I mean, I think,
What to do with that information is a whole nother conversation.
well, I think everybody deserves to be heard, but some people are, oh my God,
Well-
they should never been given a keyboard or
Well, it's like
access to the
it's
internet.
like the Alex Jones thing. And I don't agree with Alex Jones. Let's just say that.
The frogs are gay.
I'm just not a conspiracy guy.
I love conspiracies.
Uh,
Come on, he's entertaining.
no, it's entertaining. What I'm saying though is, you know, one side wanted to shut him down because they said what he was saying was dangerous. That in itself is dangerous to say.
Who's deciding that?
Yeah, who's deciding that? So today it's him that's whatever he's saying is dangerous. Tomorrow it could be one of the brightest minds of our time, and you shut him down because he doesn't politically agree with what you agree.
I mean, one guy saying that of this school like not flat, and he was been brought down.
The schools, what?
I'm going back in
The earth is
history.
not flat?
Did you guys? Did the translator get here? Are we still waiting on him?
Translator.
No, oh my god, no, God. Okay, I'm saying that back in the time,
You said you loved me.
back in like 15th centuries.
Not in the
I mean, a translator, you would have known that was not what he said.
Okay,
I love you.
now I need to finish what I'm saying.
I'm sorry.
I'm saying that back in the like back in the time when people thinking that of this not the globe, and
Oh, the earth
and,
is flat.
and then one guy came in here and say, "Hey guys, the world is it's a globe," and then he was been how to say suppressed.
Oh yeah, he was like blackballed.
See, if we would just get that over with and actually have a full-on discussion about it,
He was canceled.
silly as it is. That's what I mean by conspiracies. Some of those people are silly.
Mm-hmm.
But if we just said, okay, why not? And then had a discussion about it, and you show your side, and you send your brightest, we'll send our brightest, and we'll have a conversation about it. That would be a 5-minute conversation, and then we can move on, and we would never have to talk about flat Earth ever again.
Let's just critically think, right?
Yeah.
Let's think about it. Let's see all sides of the story. And it's like, this guy's batshit crazy. He still thinks the earth is flat. He sends me a bunch of crap. We know the earth isn't flat. We have pictures,
We have a measurement like there was
right?
a scientist who measured. He was living in France, and then the way he found out of this globe by measuring the distance, and then he did a bunch of like mathematical deals, and then he did this in the France. He did not go outside the France, and then he found out that it's a globe.
And he was a flat earther, wasn't he?
No, he has a globe. He has a no.
Or was
He's
it-
no.
Sorry.
He explored that world this globe.
Hmm.
So
Well, they had this. They took these flat earthers out. I don't remember where it was. It was like in Alaska or something, and they were trying to prove that the Earth, like, God, what was it
Well,
called?
just the sun phases would tell you.
yeah, this solar.
Because what is it? Sun for so many days and then night for so many days.
Well,
But
you
it's
got
not
the-
like that in Oklahoma. Like something's fishy about that.
right.
Discs don't work that way.
Then why is the ground so flat? Huh?
Because it's big.
Because we're little and we're on a big rock.
That must.
If you're
prove it.
standing on the rock, as far as you can see, it's going to be flat.
That must mean
You
you're.
get up high, really, really, really high, maybe in an airplane or something, you can start to see it curves a little bit.
Cheers.
Cheers.
We're drinking beer. That's why I'm so.
I'm not.
He's, he's taking nootropics and
Yeah.
amphetamines.
No.
No, he's not taking amphetamines.
I'm doing.
You're not, right?
I'm doing.
You're not taking any. Are you sniffing your own? Is that where you keep it? Let me smell.
the light.
Salts.
The light.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. What do you call a dick with cocaine on it? A sheeny.
A sheeny?
Yeah.
Wow.
A Shawini. That's off of the what was it, the roast of Charlie Sheen.
Oh yeah, I don't think I ever saw that.
All right, how much cocaine can Charlie Sheen do? Enough to kill 2.5 men.
Oh wow,
Do.
that's pretty good.
That's a.
Man,
It was a guy on there that said that. It wasn't my joke. Fuck, what was his name?
Are you guys familiar with the Socratic method?
The crackhead method.
Socratic method.
Something familiar.
So, do you guys know who Socrates was? Socrates.
Socrates?
Socrates.
So he was a
Heard of him?
Greek philosopher.
I know him.
So the Socratic method was based off of his teachings. So what it was it's the idea of, if we're going to have a conversation, not an argument, but a conversation, I have to present to you what I think that what you're saying in the conversation, until the point where you say, yes, that's what I mean by that. And then you have to articulate what I'm trying to say in my argument until I go, yes, that's what I mean by that. And only then can you have a conversation, because you understand both sides of the argument. So it's called the Socratic method.
It's like people don't understand each other. They just try to put up a shield.
Yeah. Well, if you have two, like, let's say, for instance, man, because I hate arguing with people.
I do too. I try to avoid it.
Half the time
I can become an asshole.
Find common ground and then go see. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But if they understand what you're trying to say, you can easily have a conversation then. I don't think you can have a conversation without doing that first.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think so either. That makes perfect sense.
Because at the end of the day, that person's just trying to win over your argument. You know what I mean? Most likely, somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The government.
I know about it by now.
Climate change?
Yeah.
Climate change.
Oh, God.
Oh, boy.
All right. Yeah, we'll do the climate change. I farted. The climate has changed.
I mean, there's a
It's
couple.
really hot in these lights.
In a couple of weeks, there's a 2.5 happening outside the Woodward.
It's kind of hot in these rhinos.
There's a fire in Woodward? Oh, yeah. Where are we? Where? We're in the armpit of
Well,
Oklahoma.
let me ask you this. Are you for climate change, or
I mean,
not for it, but-
I just don't want to eat.
what are your thoughts?
I don't want to have a plastic in my water, and I don't want to.
I agree with you there.
It's unhealthy.
I got to pee.
Like I'm a. Like, really?
So when you
I'm going to change the climate real quick.
Okay.
should we
guys-
pause it?
Okay.
No,
Keep
go
going.
ahead.
So,
Yeah,
Okay.
let's keep going.
are you don't want to talk about climate?
I want to talk about the climate. I just have to.
So when you say climate change, are you just saying, protecting the Earth, or are you talking about the heating up of the globe?
I'm more referring to the climate change as like a health problem, as a like from society.
Oh, okay. Well, if we're talking about that, I think we can all agree. Clean up our oceans. Maybe get rid of plastics. There's
Yeah.
better solutions out there, and
Yes.
apparently it's cancer causing, anyways.
Yes.
So,
True.
if you want to talk about the whole, we're all going to die because of global warming.
I mean, they were saying this since like 70s, and then
Well, I think they started it in the 70s or
Yeah,
50s
yeah.
when they started talking about it. But I don't remember what they originally called it. Then it went to global warming. Now it's, what is it, climate change?
yeah, climate change.
Because when one phrase fizzles out, they start up a new one to get it going again. Here's my thought on that. Just as an outside person looking in, there's enough scientists on both sides that I think the argument got thrown out, the conversation got thrown out. And it's these people saying, you're a horrible human being because you don't believe in this world ending thing like we did. But every 7 years they say the world's going to end because of climate change.
Yeah.
They refuse to talk about the fact that this is a natural occurrence. This is why we have ice ages.
Speaking
It
of
heats up and cools down. It heats up and cools down.
speaking of ice age, I think so. We're kind of still in the ice age. We are between the ice age.
Yeah, we're at the last of it.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
we're still technically, I don't think we're considered in the ice age, but we're at the tail end of the last one.
Yes.
So this is kind of a natural. Now, that being said, again, that's why I don't recycle. Do you know where all the plastics are going when you recycle?
In
Your
the
ass.
ocean, in the
In the asshole.
in the ocean.
Happiness in your asshole. Anyway, sorry.
The question.
Sorry, guys.
So what happens is we started recycling back in what, the 70s?
I mean,
Like, you know how they have the bins where you separate the plastics and the
it's
glass
not.
and all
It's
that?
it's just
That's what I'm talking
not
about
charged
for a second.
yeah.
That process of recycling
It's
that way,
It's
right?
it's a fake.
It is. So what happened was they found out that it's cheaper to send it off to another country. They outsourced the job. So they sent it over to Asia somewhere in Asia. Indonesia, I think. Isn't that where it is?
I wouldn't say
Somewhere over there. And what they do is they don't have the money or the resources to even take care of it. So we send it to them. They send it out into the ocean, and now we have a whole island made of trash.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
That's why I don't recycle. And these red boxes that you put like your clothes in and stuff to like
it's
get rid of,
It's going to
that doesn't go to Americans. That doesn't go to homeless. That gets shipped out to China and the rest of the world.
Is that where the Grinch is?
No, he's in the North Pole.
In your garbage.
He's in above Hoover.
I mean, the point of this conversation that my view is that the global warming, I'm always throwing as a ecological problem and how it can affect our in the future with plastic in the ocean and then like a bad smoke from a vehicle. Like, to be serious, it will sound stupid, but I would like to have I would like to see in the cities people driving with electric vehicle to be less smoke and will be less pollution from our breathing. It would be more healthy.
But
So
on the other side of that coin, America is leading the world in
Clean
energy.
Clean energy.
Like back in the 90s, California was a smog pit. I mean, London, in the Victorian age, the people were dying, not the 40s. Remember how people were dying in like the fog and stuff from the Industrial Revolution? We're no longer in the. I mean, yes, if we can perfect it, there's always room for improvement. But I don't think.
I mean,
I don't think a lot of that is causing what is happening.
I mean, back then,
and it damn sure ain't cow farts.
I mean, back
You heard it
then,
here first.
You're destroying the ozone layer with your
Yeah,
steaks.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What are you looking at me?
back then the population was not big.
Sure, we're at
big.
what? How many billions do we have
We
now?
have 8 billion,
8 billion.
and then back then it was like only 1 billion.
Yeah,
So if I fart, I'm destroying the ozone layer.
let me ask you this: Do you think the world is overpopulated, or
No, it's
There are too many people.
It's not true. The old can. It's stupid to say in the world is. Or we can take every human in this planet and put in fucking Texas. And
Let me
we
ask
still
you
have
this.
one.
Why not Mexico?
here's just a throwing out in the dark, maybe a possible solution. And I know this is really hard. People don't want to hear this because it's the hard thing to do. But
Is
I
it
think
really hard?
It is pretty hard.
Is it like
pretty hard?
veins
You'll
sticking
hear what I'm
out,
saying.
like throbbing hard? Okay, go ahead. I'm
If
sorry.
people see, here's the problem: the world is full of dummies. And what do dummies like to do? Dummies like to fuck.
Right?
It's a proven fact. All right.
They
What do
should have
smart
pulled
people
out.
do?
They don't like to fuck.
They decide to go to college and maybe work on their careers before they start having babies.
So that's
They pull out.
wait.
and they don't have. Well, it varies. I'm not saying.
Pull out.
I'm not saying that's how it is across the board.
Just say pull out.
But most smart people say, hey, maybe we should worry. Maybe we should look at our future before we just start popping out kids. What are the dumb people over there? They're fucking like monkeys because they can only think with their.
Is that why I don't have kids? Is like I'm sitting there fucking them and I'm like, God, this like I'm gonna have a kid and I'm not ready for this.
I'm agree on this 50% and disagree on this 50%. I'm 50-50 on this.
So you don't want to fuck anybody.
No,
Well, I wasn't finished. What I was saying though is, dumb people are outbreeding the smart people because dumb people like to fuck.
yeah, but it's happening.
You calling me
It's-
stupid?
Guy,
Do you have
no,
any kids?
No.
but just think this more clearly and understandable that it happens. It's going how is this one? It's going nonstop. Where they were doing this 2,000 years ago, and then they're still doing this one. 2000.
No, I'm not saying it's a new thing.
No, it's always
that's
happened.
how the world
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
My point though is if we live in a day and age to where we have modern medicine, people are living longer.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
You know, we don't. really have to worry about tuberculosis or polio or any of these things anymore. Not to the extent we used to, especially here in America. So we're just kind of living on top of one another. I don't think the world's overpopulated. I think there's plenty of room.
So we're living on top of each other.
We have Siberia, we have Alaska, we have Canada unpopulated, we have Africa,
Well, why don't they all just go there? They're
we have
taking up all my space.
Antarctica,
You can just sit them all over there.
we have what is the continent that we never see?
Australia.
So, yeah, yes.
Greenland? I don't know.
We have a Greenland.
We're taking over Greenland.
So,
We're doing this.
oh my God.
And there's nothing you can do about it. This room is really big. It's so big. What? What? It's big. It's huge.
I like the impression. Huge.
It's so big. My dick's bigger than his. So
Speaking of Australia, did you guys know there's a hole in the ozone layer right over Australia?
it's such a huge hole.
Like, imagine
A beautiful
an
hole.
imaginary bubble surrounding us, right? Australia has a hole in that bubble.
That's why they have a high chances of cancer.
Yes.
Skin cancer.
Is that? I'm just saying that's crazy to you.
Nobody has skin
It's
like
so
me.
hot there.
I have the best skin. Your skin's terrible.
Yeah, maybe that's why they're so grumpy. I mean, they're out there fighting kangaroos and stuff.
Look.
So.
Yeah.
We have a population way too big, right?
Way too big.
It's huge.
Is it?
There's too many. We need to build a wall.
I think we have.
I don't care.
I think the
Dude,
population.
can I do Zelensky?
Yeah, do Zelensky.
What
Go
are you
ahead,
talking
go ahead.
about?
I don't care what you're saying. I don't care what you're doing. Go back to your own country. I don't care.
We need
So
help.
you don't. Oh, go help your
We need
mother.
help.
I'll be back.
Help your mother. Talk to the hand.
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah, talk to the hand. Don't talk anymore.
I don't
No.
wanna talk
Anyway,
to-
you see what I'm dealing with?
I feel I did bad. Zelensky. Cosplay.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
He was a bad dude. He was a very bad dude. Nobody's bigger bad dude than he is.
When you guys talk to other people, like what kind of people do you guys usually have on here
What do you mean?
We had a guy.
on your podcast?
We have some pretty cool guys.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I just mean
They're
like
such good guys.
some would say the best.
It's the best in the world. They're so great.
The
He's not so great, but everyone's, I'm great. It's all about me, so. Shut up.
nobody asked you.
Yep. Nobody asked you. Hillary Clinton is the worst thing to happen to politics since cows farted in the ozone layer.
I feel like it's a good time to bring up politics. I guess.
That's why I don't want to. That's why I say Daniel.
It's just a joke.
I know. I'm afraid that it will go to not the way.
It's your fault. Okay? Shh.
Can you do Obama?
Listen here, folks.
Oh shit! That's good.
Yes, we can. We can make this country good or a pile of shit. Or
Obama sounds like a hillbilly all of a sudden.
this is America,
I will say this though:
land of the Chinese-owned government.
the man is a silver-tongued devil.
La-la-la-la-la.
He is a great speaker.
Yeah, it's actually. I'll listen to some of his speeches. It's pretty good.
You know, back in
Not as good as mine.
That's what bothers me though, because people still to this day want to make it about race. Like
He's losing the
country
race.
voted for the man twice. You know what I mean?
Because-
If we were systemically racist, like they say, I don't think he would have won twice
I
by
may be
large
racist.
numbers. You know what I mean?
I mean, even Republican like Obama. So
I mean, he was a great speaker. But
Not as good a speaker
everything
as I
he was
am.
going to run on, he didn't run on.
He ran away like a little baby.
So what I know about Obama, that his politic inside the United States was been, I would say it's pretty good. I don't see enough. It's fine. That's what
He cares more
Yeah.
about Chinese
The
babies.
type of president he was, you mean?
But like his inside politic in the United States was been very, I would say, pretty good. They feel what I see about economical deal and other deal. But anyway,
Where's his birth certificate?
if
Ukraine in a nutshell.
Not to sound like a conspiracy guy, because again, you know,
but
didn't they just come out and
but at least
finally pop the bubble on that one?
I popped her cherry so
I think they
hard.
just recently came out. Who was it? don't know enough to talk about it.
I'm an asshole. Anyway, yeah.
Can I finish this one? So, but
You've talked already. No, I'm
his,
just-
but his inside politic in the United States was been pretty good for my opinion, but his aside politic was been fucked up.
who are we talking about?
About Obama.
Oh,
Just think of us. This guy, fucking. I have to refer to the Russia. So this guy, when he was being elected, Russia started war with Georgia. Georgia is a country in Europe, and then the United States just closed the eye. Obama did nothing. He did not put sanctions. He did not stop Russia.
He was explaining that to the audience
So-
in case they didn't know where Georgia was.
Yeah.
Georgia.
And then we have a couple wars in the Middle East, and then nothing happened. But anyway, then we have 2014, Russia annexed Crimea, and then what Obama did? Fucking nothing.
Fucking
He put
nothing.
he put fucking sanction on Russia, and it put like just a little bit, just a little bit.
That's all I'm saying. I'm glad we can agree with that.
And
What about Michelle
useless.
Obama? She's a
And
guy.
Useless.
And and then we have a proxy war in Ukraine. I'm talking about the conflict in the Donbass region. What Russia started proxy war in there, and then
It's all proxy.
Obama did not help none. Obama just sent Blinkens to Ukraine. He did not send weapons to Ukraine.
They're cold. They need blankets.
Or as Trump said, sheets.
Yeah.
Sheets.
Seats. And then we have the election, and then we have a Trump who actually some sort understand what is going on.
You gotta admit
he sent Ukraine weapon, and he actually supported.
Well, I'm not done with Obama yet.
So
Oh, bummer.
Here's the main problem I have with Obama. Other than I just don't agree with his politics, but that's
Big Mike.
another thing, you know. The problem I have is that he divided us. Race relations were at an all-time high. We all grew up,
Yeah.
or at least we did, during a time to where it was force-fed to us. We were all getting along.
It was
you know?
a-
And there were bad times like the '90s riots.
Do you remember when? Yeah.
There's going to be shitty people no matter what.
Well, when
But
he
if-
became president, it was great. Like everything.
I mean, we voted for the first black president. That was a huge thing. Everybody was there. You know what I mean? We celebrated it together.
He was good.
It just turned out he was a horrible president. And then he went off and divided us, saying, you know, the white devil and you've kept them oppressed.
Yes,
you
I
know,
did vote
shit
for
like that.
Obama.
Now, let me ask you this: if America was really systemically racist, you got to think since what the '60s,
The 60s.
the
maybe.
media, the education system, Hollywood, they've all been Democratic, right? Leaning.
yeah.
Well,
They
liberal.
have ran they have pretty much ran the country since the '60s. So if America is really systemically racist, whose fault is that?
You know, Hollywood is racist. I mean, back then, Hollywood in 50s and 60s was been pretty racist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
I mean, if you look up the list of the president, when you guys seen,
talking about the good old days.
so if you talk about the list
Just
of the,
kidding.
the list of the president in the United States, most of the time we had actually Republican president back in from after the 50s, majority of the president from the 50s to the 2000. From the 50s to 2000, majority of the president what we elect was been Republican.
Well, it was Reagan. Reagan was after the
Well, Reagan was 1980.
the 80s, but it was mostly like
81,
Reagan,
yeah.
George Bush Sr., and then
Yeah.
it was Bill Clinton, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about I'm talking about the president list from the 50s to the 2000s,
Yeah.
and majority of them was been Republican.
Well, you got Eisenhower.
Really?
So
He was Republican. Hold on.
Didn't the party switch?
See, okay, I'm glad you brought that up. This whole great shift. I've heard a lot of people talk about that. I'm gonna call bullshit because, and not to step on anybody's toes, because we need both sides of the coin. But hasn't the Democratic Party always been the party of racism?
I'm just gonna let everybody know that's my
Civil
clock.
War, they,
I'm agree with
well,
this.
hear me out.
It's my clock.
So the Civil War, right? The Democrats were for slaves. Then after the Civil War, the Democrats were the party of the Jim Crow laws. Lyndon B. Johnson, after Kennedy was assassinated, when he became president, Lyndon B. Johnson, right after signing the Civil Rights Act, which he was forced to do, by the way, because it was time, There was no way out of that. He got caught in the Oval Office on recording. You can find the recording of him saying, "This will get them." Can I say it?
Well,
I
just
probably shouldn't say. He's on recording saying this will get them inwards vote
Yeah.
Democrat for the next 80 years.
did you?
Then the Ku Klux Klan Democratic Party.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Anybody out there, put in the comments or whatever. If you're a Democrat, what Democratic leader has ever brought you out of oppression? Answer me that.
What do you mean person?
Well, if Americans are so oppressed or black people are so oppressed, name one leader that ever brought you out of oppression.
I think Kennedy was.
Lincoln was the party of freeing the slaves. He was the
He was
Republican,
a Republican,
Party.
yeah.
Yeah.
Was
He
Kennedy?
started the Republican Party.
Some of the Republicans don't even notice that Lincoln was.
John Kennedy was a Democrat, right?
Yes, but if he was alive today, he'd be Republican.
He would be, yeah.
But that's just
He'd be like
because-
Robert Kennedy.
well, the line has shifted in the sand.
It's done it. It always shifts.
So if you think of it as a tug of war match, this is how I see it. The Republicans are the party of linear thinkers, by the book, traditional values. They keep the history intact. Now, the Democrats are the left-leaning, abstract thinkers. They're the artsy people. They're the ones that the progression. They move society forwards. But they cannot move so fast to where they leave the Republicans behind.
I just want to paint your nose.
So it's a tug of war match throughout time to where you can be progressive because we need that. We need to evolve
Yeah.
as a society. But you cannot forget your traditions and your values and your linear thinking. Because if you throw out linear thinking, those are your facts. Those are your we need these things to go forward or we fall into chaos.
Right.
We will become anarchist at this point, or big government, which is even worse.
Can I ask you a question
Authoritarian.
about what is?
But the right has that too. If you go too far right, that also has downfalls.
That's good.
What's the?
So we need, we need that healthy.
Yeah.
If we were more in the middle, and I'm not saying everybody has to be moderate. You can think how you want, but when you're on extremes on both end, it's like being on one of those tabletops and people are walking trying to keep it upright, right? If you go too far to the outsides, it's going to topple all over itself, and then we'll be in chaos.
Well, there's a lot of extremes.
That's how revolutions are started.
There are extremes on both sides.
There are extremes on that.
I've seen it.
That's what I'm saying.
I've actually seen both of it.
Yeah. Like
there's far left, there's far right, and
like Bush Jr., George W. I would have loved to party with the guy.
oh yeah,
And I think he did the best job he could after 9/11. I think he legitimately, sincerely tried to do the best. But let's not argue. He wasn't running the show. Dick Cheney was running that show. He was a horrible president. And he was Republican.
Dick Cheney.
Okay? You got the Patriot Act. You got No Child Left Behind. There was a lot of dumb shit under Bush. Okay?
Yeah.
His father was a good guy, but I don't think he was a great president.
Did you know he came to Woodward?
Yeah, I worked that venue.
George Bush.
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Freedom Fest.
You know what I was doing?
I
When
was checking IDs for
Yeah.
that.
You know what's funny? When he was speaking, I was at the park.
I got to shake his hand.
Guess what I got to do? I was out back.
Well, so after he left
smoking a
office,
joint.
Obama just took office. This is what, summer of 09? Yeah,
It
summer
was
of
around
09.
09, yeah.
The first thing he did after leaving office, which is weird, the first thing he did was Woodward. It's not really Woodward, but Woodward hosted a concert venue. It was like a 3-day thing called Freedom Fest. And he came and spoke at the last day. And he started the conversation saying, he was talking to his wife a couple days before that. And he was saying, the people don't like me very much. And there were people out there with signs saying, you killed my son, in Iraq and all that.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, well, there was like a couple people outside the gate of the expo, whatever, Crystal Beach.
What was the where they had the rodeo?
Yeah.
But I remember I went there. I wasn't where everybody was, but I was in the park and you could hear him speaking.
Yeah.
And I remember I was with a friend and we were rolling up a joint, And we're sitting there smoking. It was like, gosh, I hate Bush.
Yeah.
It's like, he put Tommy Chong in jail.
I heard something funny today. Somebody was telling me that isn't it wild that we live in a day and age to where you have to buy eggs on the street and weed in the store.
Right?
That's where we're at right now.
Hey, farm grown, like, I was going to say farm grown eggs. It's like, what?
No, I just thought that was funny.
We would
Interesting.
think about weed, marijuana. Like, you've probably, like, you don't, do you remember when it was illegal?
Dude, that was
Let's not use the word marijuana. It's cannabis.
cannabis.
It's one of those things that's always
How about pot?
pot. Well, you can do whatever. I just don't like the word marijuana
How about
because
dope?
it has been so,
Dope.
You been smoking dope,
Slander.
boy?
because it's a Mexican slang word for devil's weed or something like that.
Can I call it marijuana?
No,
call
it's
it whatever you want.
marijuana. What?
I like to call things as they are.
Marijuana.
Marijuana.
Mexicanas?
That's how we call it.
What's your point about pop?
Anyway, I was smoking weed. Like,
Marijuana.
I've always been like an advocate for weed. Like, that's just one thing that I've always been like really passionate about. Like when I was a teenager, like in high school, I smoked weed, and everyone used to compare it to basically heroin.
Yeah, the DARE program.
Yeah, I lied.
Actually, in the place where I'm from in Ukraine, all drugs is illegal and you can go to jail. Every like
Damn this war.
in schools, you have some program that teach you that why the drugs is bad, and then and then blah blah blah.
Right.
I mean, so that would be my opinion and all my
Yeah, this is good. Open conversation.
Speaking of weed, I understand, if you have a depression, that's fine to smoke weed, but do not overuse, do not try something new. You have to have a
Why the hell not?
You have to have a wall where you cannot cross the wall and then go further.
Oh, you're talking about a gateway drug.
No, I'm talking about that. Even you can, if some people can smoke and not stop, and then eventually they go and do Daniel if you try cocaine, and then eventually they go downhill.
Are you saying that my amphetamine? I take legal drugs, thank you.
So
it's only my opinion about this.
I think the gateway conversation
As alcohol.
Well, it's kind of silly because you could say that with anything. Gambling,
Would you like a
cheeseburgers.
Yeah,
Some people have a food addiction.
Yes, yeah. Have a balance.
So here's
peer pressure? Hey, you want some?
I've always been pro cannabis. Here's how I look at it though.
We're liberal.
Some of us started. I never said I was a Republican.
That was actually liberal.
Absolutely.
I lean more towards somewhere between
I've always
libertarian
been-
and Republican.
I've always been a liberal.
That's mean how conservative you on the weed because
Well, so hear me
weed
out.
should be
Well,
no, I think it's not be open. I'll give everyone a part of reading.
You fucking hypocrite.
Sorry,
You communist bastard.
Republican, help me.
I love you.
so
I'm just kidding.
here's my
Sorry.
point on cannabis.
Go ahead.
I am pro cannabis, but that being said,
Anyway, are we still recording? Is
Yeah.
everything still recording? Okay.
I think it should be like alcohol because they've done studies for years now. It's pretty much common knowledge that you should wait till you're fully developed to start anything,
Yes.
whether it be cannabis, anything. Because if your frontal lobe isn't fully developed, when you start experimenting with drugs, you mentally stay at a certain age. You can outgrow that, but it's a lot harder because you stunted your growth during a very important.
Why are you looking at me?
Well, because you're the one that brought it up. That being said, I'm very pro cannabis. I don't, some say it's a performance enhancing drugs. There's UFC fighters.
It makes sex feel better.
There's plenty of people out there. Now, me, for instance, I love cannabis. I don't smoke it every day to do everything. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's a treat to me. But at the same time, if I were to sit there and smoke it every day, I struggle with laziness. It makes me a little lazier because I'm more mellow. That's not a side effect. It is a side effect of cannabis.
Do you peek
But
out
what
the
I'm-
windows?
What I'm saying is moderation on anything.
Yeah.
Be fully developed.
Yeah.
Moderation. You know, don't tell me what. And I think it's kind of silly that the government dictates what we can and cannot
Right.
do with our own body.
Right.
Because that is against our inalienable rights. Are you familiar with Terrence McKenna?
No.
So Terrence McKenna, he once said that if the words life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness do not include the right to experiment with my own consciousness, then
That's
the
a
word,
good point.
then the Declaration of Independence wasn't worth the hemp that it was
That's a
written
good
on.
point.
Yeah,
That's
that was
good.
brilliant.
I mean,
Yeah. Do not tell me what I can and cannot do with my own body,
Yeah.
property.
Yeah.
Those are my rights as an American.
Well, that's why I am pro-choice. Like I believe
Cannabis?
no, well that and
Or- Like abortion.
oh shit, I'm
you
jumping.
talking about killing babies now?
Anyway, I was gonna tell you about the weed. You asked me how like I used to like how did I get started or whatever, or was
I
it?
didn't, but how did you get started, Daniel?
It was
How old were you when you paint me a picture?
okay. The first time I ever smoked pot was when I was 15 with my sister. The thing was, I was so
Me too, but I was 12
yeah. Oh my god.
with my sister and cousin.
My feet on the
Throwing you under the bus right now.
My feet on the
19 when I smoked first.
is not developed at 12.
Yeah, learn from me. That's why I can say it from experience because I've, spent a long time looking into this.
I'm sorry, everybody. I'm not an asshole. I'm
Yeah.
just.
Okay.
But can I?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Daniel's having technical difficulties. So while he's having technical difficulties,
Can you still hear me?
Nicholas,
I don't know what the
tell
fuck.
me about the first time you smoked pot.
Hello.
Okay, yeah, I can
Am
hear
I
you.
still
How
there?
did that? Were you here in America or?
Yeah. Okay,
Nobody wants like.
so speaking of
Well, I was letting you fix your stuff.
we're jumping around too much.
okay, speaking of we, I mean, I had this lesson. I'm
Finish my story.
to be serious. If every drugs in the world will be illegal and you can buy and stuff, it will be more healthy than if it will be not illegal because it will put like a limit on the drugs to make sure that somebody
Yeah, that's
not
why.
die.
That's why I voted for Ron Paul back in the day.
Yeah, like it will be beneficial. It will be legal and it will be regulated. It will be more fucking. We will make.
And we can tax the shit out of it.
Yes, that's
These
what I'm
roads.
saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think everybody's okay with that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, I'm not for high taxes, but if you want to throw a tax on it and let me smoke a joint from time to time, hey, why not? I'll pay taxes for that. I'll pay taxes to go to war with the cartels. I'll pay taxes for teachers that actually give a damn about their job.
Fuck the car.
I'm okay with paying taxes, but when you have taxation without representation, like, did you know Oklahoma got voted worst roads in the union?
Oh, it is. They have the worst roads,
We also got voted worst drivers. I don't know if there's a correlation there.
especially in Woodward, Oklahoma. In Woodward,
I
Oklahoma.
used to work for ODOT back in the day.
Fucking
We
Woodward.
we didn't fix roads. We did. We
You should
patched
post this on Woodtown.
when there was a pothole. You know what we did? When we had free time, that was like one of those jobs. Like when we had nothing to do, we would throw some asphalt in the back of a truck with a shovel, go to said hole, put a little bit in there, and be like, "It looks good." That's what your tax dollars are going to. Here in Oklahoma.
And then stand there all day just.
Yeah, and then go dick off for a while.
They wouldn't do anything.
And as a person that actually does work for the government,
paying my paycheck. I don't
man, this current climate, I think we've all seen the waste that's going on. As a person that actually works for the federal government, I can tell you, nobody's doing shit.
Right.
We're throwing money out the window as fast as we just buy the sacks full of money just going down the road.
Are you talking about Doge?
Okay.
Well, just all of it. Even before Doge got involved, I don't want to go into detail, but working in a drone shop, let's just put it this way. There's a little stand that a drone sits on, and it's like $20,000, and it's just a little oval shape like that. One of my buddies actually went home, made one out of wood for free, and brought it back, and it actually worked better than what we paid $60,000, $20,000 on.
Shit.
They didn't cost $60,000. Somebody's scraping off the top is what's happening. There's kickbacks to it. So when the federal government, every single department, every fiscal term says, okay, you get this amount of money, right? And they do. They get all of it in one lump sum. And so they buy all the things they need to buy. Well, not only are they going to the highest competitors, we're not going for the cheapest people here. Not all the time, anyways. It's just like what we're doing overseas. We're sending all this money over there, and then it's getting funneled back. That's called money laundering, and it's happening everywhere.
It is. That's why we have Doge now.
Yeah, so I'm all for Doge. And the same people, it was the same people just 3 years ago saying if you didn't get this experimental vaccination, you cannot have a job.
Right.
Those same people now are saying that they're oppressed because they're losing their job for money laundering and just throwing money out the window.
We shall overcome.
Can I tell you? Can I tell you the story how I smoked my first weed?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, got me on my soapbox.
That's okay. So
Go
it
ahead.
happened by
Daniel
accident.
gave me alcohol.
So
Right.
my friend called me out and said, "Hey, do you want to hang out?" I was like, I was 19. I think so. I was 18,
19
maybe
years old.
17. I was like, "Fuck yeah, let's do this."
He was barely legal.
But so we sit down in the vehicle, we're out driving, and my friend's smoking something vape, and he said something. I don't remember if he said this of it's a weed or not, and I was like,
Yeah, I've been tricked into that before.
I was like, yeah, I was like,
This weed
that's okay,
nowadays.
it'll be fine. So I did I hit maybe 3 times.
Good enough.
I
Well,
did
those
like-
vape,
Oh
listen,
my God.
the vape pens that you are talking about
Yeah.
isn't the shit we started on.
No, that's high
That's not
class.
your grandma's
That's like-
weed anymore.
No, it's how.
No.
Go ahead and finish your story.
So I did 3 hits, and it
That's good enough to
fucked-
splash you off in
it
his face.
fucked me up so bad.
Especially for a rookie.
Dude, I experienced this first time in my life being high, and then the femoral experience it was been like I'm dying and and then come back to life.
They didn't tell you to take a small hit, did they?
No, you got too much at
Yeah.
one.
yeah, like
Your tolerance was real low.
yes, yeah, like the time slowed down. Like I experienced some. It's just weird.
I had that too. No, go ahead. Yeah,
Like-
I got a story to tell you behind.
The time is slowed down. My reasons to going back and forth.
Oh God.
Like it coming.
It's like being on acid.
Like yeah.
I don't. I've
The
never
high-
taken acid.
The high is coming to me. Like I experienced it so heavily, it didn't even leave. I coming back and it come back again, and then it fucked me up so bad.
Is your heart starting to go? Just remember, it's like PTSD.
I
for
had,
weed.
I had anxiety. I had panic attack probably.
Oh my God. That's some people you need to be with old stoners like us. It's like we know the strength. Like this shit now is a lot stronger than it used to be. We used to smoke dirt,
That is actually
like dirt
valid.
weed.
Argument with any drug, especially when you're starting out. And I'm not, if you, some people
like
aren't
alcohol.
designed to do certain drugs. Okay. You do want a shamanistic setting. I don't do man-made drugs, like meth and heroin and stupid stuff like that. But there are drugs out there that I think are beneficial. Usually your psychedelic kind.
Yeah.
And when I'm talking about acid, like cannabis is a mild hallucinogenic.
Like mushrooms. Mushrooms.
Psilocybin.
Super
Yeah. MDMA to a certain point, if you do it in a healthy environment. That was actually created during for couples counseling to have them bond better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
DMT, dimethyltryptamine, is that's actually one of the most potent drugs psychedelics known to man. I'm starting to feel this now.
I like it. Well, it's like
But yeah, you want to go into it, and most of those psychedelic drugs, if you're not in the right atmosphere and you're wrong, the wrong people,
You can have a bad trip.
good luck, buddy.
You can have a bad.
Yeah,
like if you were like right now, if you never smoked pot, right?
I mean,
Like if it was like,
if it's so
theoretically.
right now, yeah.
like us, like if we were rolling a joint, we'd be like, okay, we're seasoned stoners or people who
You
smoke
have
pot.
tolerance, yeah.
But we would be like,
We know what we're
okay,
doing.
if you want to smoke weed, like you could take a hit, but you got to take a small hit.
that's why I like
really
joints so
small.
much, because a joint is really your perfect.
Balance.
It's the perfect limit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Bongs that's a heavy high. I don't like bongs.
Yeah.
Blunts, we used to smoke blunts when I was a teenager, just because everybody was doing it. You know what I mean? That's too much. Pipes, are greasy to me. I don't like the oily. Makes me feel
God.
gross.
Remember
And
the
don't
other
even get me
night?
started on the gas masks. Ugh.
I almost died in a gas mask. Yeah, I had a gas mask.
That defeats the purpose, doesn't it?
Well, the thing was, is they lit it, and I didn't realize there was not like it just completely smoked me out, and I'm like, I can't breathe. I forgot to
Yeah.
take it fucking off.
Well, because like a joint, you take a few puffs, you wait a minute. Do you need some more? Okay, take a few more puffs.
Shit.
You wait a minute. Okay, I'm good. So you just put it down, it goes out, and you're good. You know what I mean? I just love joints. I think joints is the greatest mechanism.
Led Zeppelin. Shit. That was bad.
Anyways.
It was stuck to my
What are
finger.
we talking about?
We're talking about drugs, joints, and our first time smoke. How about this? You said that your first time smoking. What about your first time smoking?
Wow, my first time smoking.
You gonna pick that up?
Here in a minute. It was
worked hard on
Thanksgiving
that.
night, 1998.
1990.
Yes, the 1900s.
1990.
So fucking old.
I was 12 years old.
My lips were tender.
We had cousins over because it was Thanksgiving. They were staying the night and all that. Well, my sister, God rest her soul, and my cousin Megan, they were a little older than me. And I followed my sister a lot. She was where a lot of my bad habits came from. Well, anyways, they came to little 12-year-old me, and they were like, hey, you want to get stoned?
Ooh.
Of course. I'm like, fuck yeah. So we go up to my room upstairs, and it was a big enough house. We were scattered across. Nobody was going to know. You know what I mean? And this is back in the day where you make pipes out of pop cans. Yeah. You poke a little hose in there and smoke it up a pop can. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I sat there and got stoned with my cousin and my sister in my room upstairs. And then here's the funny part, though. We came downstairs and we were watching movies. This is back when you had a thing called movie stores. Well, anyways, we rented a bunch of movies. So we were down in the living room just watching. Are you going to watch yourself the whole time? We were down there watching movies up all night, right? And it's Thanksgiving, so we had food left over. And there was a big bag of what we called butt rolls. I don't know what kind of rolls they are.
Buttholes.
Butt rolls. They look like little butt cheeks. Anyways, that's not the point. I had a whole bag of it, and I'm just going to town on these rolls. Well, my dad gets up. He's starting to make coffee. It's like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, gosh.
And he was like, what happened to all these rolls? And I freaked out. So I just threw the bag behind the couch, acting like nothing ever happened. This is my first time getting high, And there was an old commercial, the old Budweiser commercial where it was like, I love you, man. No, I love you, man. Do you remember that?
Oh, man, yeah.
It was around that time. Well, I walked into the kitchen and I hugged my dad and was like, I love you, man. And he just looked down at me and was like, get off me.
Do you think he knew?
I don't think he knew then. There are times that there was no... He's never said anything to me about it, but there's times that there was no hiding it.
He knew.
Like coming in and sneaking into the room,
I'm going to grab us a beer.
All right.
Where is
Are you out of beer?
It's 1 hour 15 minutes.
15 minutes?
1 hour 15 minutes.
50?
1
15.
hour 15 minutes.
15 minutes?
Just a bit.
I'm not having...
Speaking of time dilation while you're stoned, this is a fun story. So the only time I've ever lost memory while doing anything, drinking, smoking, whatever, I've never gotten so blackout drunk that I don't remember what happened.
Did you want a beer?
It's never happened. Yeah, I'll take 2. Thank you.
Do you want one?
No, okay.
Oh, yeah.
So I was 17, 18 at the time. And there in Mustang, I was hanging out with some friends and we smoked 2 blunts on the front porch of this house out in the middle of nowhere, right? And the 2 friends I was with, I'm going to leave their names out, but the girl that had the car and my other friend, they were like, hey, do you want to go cruise the back roads? And I was like, hell yeah. And I'm blitz. We just smoked 2 blunts between the 3 of us, right? Well, I'm in the back seat. They're in the front seat. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I see what you did there. Yeah. Anyway, she had a sunroof, right? And we're just going down, up and down hills in Mustang on the back roads, right? And I decide to get halfway out of the sunroof, like Titanic style, with my arms out, king of the world. And she's just going up and down, and I'm just flying, right?
Damn.
Well, finally, I come back down, and I sit down in the back seat. I had an out-of-body experience.
Wow.
My soul left my body and was elsewhere. The last thing I remember was we ended up going to Walmart. And I don't like to go to Walmart when I'm sober, let alone when I'm high. We were in Walmart, and the last thing I remember was standing between the water fountains up front, looking out towards Walmart, freaking out because I didn't want to be there. The next thing I remember is I was in my car driving with a whole new set of people going through the drive-through at McDonald's hours later. And it dawned on me when I was going through the drive-through, like, how the fuck did we get here? Still this day, could not tell you.
Oh man.
From there to there.
Magic weed.
Were you just like, what the fucking?
Yeah, it just all of a sudden hit me because I'm laughing, I'm giving the person money, and I look over, and I'm like, wait a minute. And then I look behind me, I'm like, how the fuck did you guys get here? Where are we?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Blackout moment.
It was
That's cool.
Were you drinking on
moment
that?
I've ever had.
Were you drinking?
No, just
Just smoking?
they probably laced it with something, if I'm being honest.
Oh man.
What side effect?
I don't know.
Probably.
That outside of the sunroof did something to me because I'm telling you, it was astral projection when I came back. I sat down and I remember looking out of the window and watching just the drive-by stuff, and then just all of a sudden, and I was miles away. And like you say that like miles away, you were deep in thought. No,
man.
I was no longer in my body.
That's amazing.
Dude, what kind of weed you smoke?
Maybe I went to sleep. I don't know.
Well,
Maybe I
that's
was
the thing. You never knew back then. It's like, okay, what do we have in here?
Oh yeah, there's these kids are so fortunate now. You can go into if you get a card, which apparently is easy to do now. You can go into a shop, say, and the guy will be like, "Oh, what do you want, man?" And you can be like, "I need this, this, and this for this, this, and this." And the guy would be like, "Right here, this is what you need." Back in the day, you had to go off of a stranger going, "Oh man, this is kind bud." Well, what kind of pot is it? "Oh, it's kind bud, man. It came straight from a brick." And you just had to be like, "Okay."
1,000 seeds later.
Yeah, we didn't. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And it wasn't as potent. They're scientists with this shit now. I mean, there was good bud back in the day.
Remember back in.
This was brickweed back in the day.
Do you remember when it was like, oh, it's got red hair in it?
Yeah, the Mexican red hair.
Oh man.
You get so excited because Okies, we're used to like you could tell if it came off of a brick because it had a corner on it or something.
Or
So you're
1,000
like,
seeds.
it was gold at that point. You're like, this is like
You know what's sad?
cartel pot.
I actually liked brickweed.
I mean, back then it was.
Remember the popcorn? Like you would pop it. Like it'd be on the pop can or whatever, like you were talking about, the
Yeah.
Coke can, and you'd light it, and whenever,
The poppies.
yeah, they pop like popcorn.
Yeah, I didn't like that part. You know what was crazy though? I call them poppies. Other people don't.
Poppies.
Resin cigarettes. Did you ever do that?
Resin cigarettes.
Yeah. So a buddy of mine used to do this all the time. But what you do is you take a cigarette, and you got to get the pipe hot so the resin's sticky and tarry, and you take it and you kind of just paint the cigarette in the resin, right?
Yes.
It's not a huge high, but if you're down and out and you need a little buzz, you smoke this resin cigarette. And what it did to me was you'd be sitting there and it's a little bit of a high, but all of a sudden these little sparks would just appear in front of you, just like pop, pop,
oh
pop.
man.
That was a weird high.
Dude.
You remember
That's weird.
scraping your pipe for like little like what is it like?
I wasn't a pipe guy. I was always a joint guy.
I used to use my dad's tools as like a pipe.
Now we did get creative with like the milk jug bongs.
Oh god.
Like
you put in the water and just
apples. I always liked the apple. That was always neat.
that was fun. What were you saying?
Refreshing.
Oh, speaking of the time slow down, so, damn it, remember we smoked weed like a week ago, 2 weeks ago?
We watched Cheech and
And
Chong.
then my time versions slow down, and then when I see like there's some guy, there's
You took like 3 hits in 1 second.
no, it's actually 2 hits.
It was like 3.
3, okay. And there's a people walking.
Slow down.
There was a people walking towards us, and I was like, it's the coolest effect I watched in my life. Like they're walking towards us, and then they're talking, and then they're walking like maybe 5 minutes to me.
He's talking about like Cheech and Chong's
That's
Nice dreams.
That's the best movie I ever seen in my
So
life.
here's a nice little tie into that to come.
Make the
right.
world great again.
Make
the
America
world great again.
How about make America great again?
Make America great again? And God
Oklahoma.
bless, make Oklahoma great again. Or great in general. Cool.
We got you. I love you guys.
I love you guys. This was fun. Thanks, guys, for having me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
this was
then, are we-
Like, that's
this is great. What about the
Yeah.
light her up,
um,
and then
do
we'll
it
push pause.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Just give it a. We talked about this.
Skibbity tulip.
You can think about
Ask a young person about that.
What is it?
Skibbity tulip.
Meow. Shit.
Man, that was
I almost had it.
almost pretty good.
All right.
All right, guys.
Hang on.
Love you long time.
This should be like the.
If you need to, you can find me on
borrow-
social media.
Can I borrow your lighter?
Put links.
I'm private, but just send me a request.
Can I borrow your lighter? Borrow your lighter.
Oh, you can push pause.
Oh, do you want which way now? Okay.
You see that
Okay,
shit? Hang on. Wait.
There you go.
I want to show this on TV.
That's it.
I want to let
You're
everybody
such a
know.
rebel.
My name is Daniel Nicholson. I live in Woodward, Oklahoma.
Yeah, give your address for the Woodward Police Department. He has a card, though.
I have a card. We're a card carrying
Funny business.
people.
Are we though?
Are you sure you wanted to see me?
I am a card. Huh?
Are you sure
Hey,
you
how
wanted
about this? You light it.
They're going to ask
like
for your papers.
You just
I don't have a cup.
You don't have a
I
card,
don't have a cup.
but you can
Are
like.
you a
this.
narc?
No.
Are you or are you not a narc?
He's not liberal enough, so
No, it's from a movie.
come on, just light it. Like
No, I don't have a cup.
you don't have a card.
Actually, that's a good way to end the podcast. Is you like
Wait, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
How come he could talk you into shit, but I
Because
can't
I'm
talk
a
you into
smooth
shit?
criminal.
I can,
Fuck you.
he know how to talk to the group. He know how to
talk to the group.
That's it's funny you say that. That's my personality type. I'm the was it the diplomat?
Dude, here. That's.
I think you're the
supposed to
Hitler.
be,
I
actually.
don't know. It's like I could talk you into anything.
I made poor
You
decisions.
can make a deal.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls,
Well, this will be the end of our podcast. Thank you so much for watching this episode. I'm so proud of you all, guys, and then my views. Our views, people who watching us.
I love you.
Good conversation.
I like you.
You know what the world needs now is love, sweet love, and Ukrainian to light my joint.
It's now.
make the
Light it.
We might have to edit that out.
Love.
The thing is about stuff like that is it's a copyright issue.
I mean, it's not. It's just his voice.
Not when I'm singing it. It's not.
Yeah.
If you played the song, it would be.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can sing it all live long day you want. You just can't play the
It's
actual audio. It's a true story.
Really?
I read it in a book somewhere.
Okay. Make this podcast.
We're making love right now. No, not physical love, but what I'm saying is, Kiefer,
What?
I love you.
I love you.
And what the world needs now, the Ukrainian and the American.
We make this podcast great again.
That's beautiful.
Beautiful. That's good. Daniel.
What?
Give me that lighter.
Oh shit! Can you hand me my sage?
Oh, yeah. It'd be easier for him to. Well, hold on to it if you're going to like that.
Can you grab my sage?
Oh, you mean like how?
Yeah, put it over there. That'd be great. Because you need good energy.
Huh?
You need better energy.
I need to pop positive.
Like the big ass.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Spliff.
Mexican Americans.
Works better if you tilt it down.
How about this? Ukrainian Americans don't like to get up early in the mornings, but they have to, so they do it real slow. Ukrainian Americans love their chichas, their Polish sausages, and their gay friend named Jeff. How dare you mock my
That's actually good.
Should I get the drum?
Give me your best underhand. Okay.
Did it work?
Yeah, on your cat.
Mitzi.
Where'd it go?
All right, y'all ready? Everybody all
Yes.
nice and
I'm
relaxed?
ready.
Let's do it.